Good evening, Free Enterprise fans. Welcome. We're glad you're here to cheer on all these Puffin' Austin Pink Puff runners, particularly our featured racers Funnel Cakes and Firebird Lover as they go on a monster hunt. I am Commander Leonhardt, and I'm joined in the booth here by Tybalt the Gambler. Tybalt, Elements, Boss Hunts. A summon is on. Things are stepping up for the Puffs.
Yeah, I mean, K-Summon being one of the newer, harder flags being added, but we're on a massive boss hunt. Those are always so much fun to try to figure out how you're going to route. What boss spots are you going to possibly fade? What boss spots are you willing to take on early to try and maybe gain some ground?
Yeah, the key to doing well in any seed is to only do the things you have to do and skip the things you don't. It's very, very hard not to do very close to a full clear with 6 bosses on the table.
Yeah, 34 boss spots out there. There's a lot of different variants. And there's probably going to be some early on just with, 6 different bosses that we do have to fight. The chances of all 6 being directly on the moon, highly unlikely, though possible.
Very unlikely if our streamer has set that up. Cubs Rule has rolled that. Cubs Rule needs to buy a lottery ticket, and our tracker, Mecha, is going to be really, really bored for a very long time.
Well, still has to click the key item spots. Find the package or Sand Derby, and those still can come out relatively quickly with just being K-Main and K-Summon.
Yeah, a little, but what are you going to do? Didn't start the fire, the screen exploded before the seed loaded.
Such a good song.
It is. Good naming scheme, Firebird Lover.
But we have a forum start. Are you looking to see what the second character we have here before you have to figure out where you're going to go?
We've got K no free, so I'm not going to Bedward. We've got Wildish, so given the absence of an exit, yeah, you can go a few different ways with this.
Well, looking at that grab bag kit, I think I saw a heroin robe in that. Plus, you have a Sid. I'm pretty set with this loot. Like, let's do like Hobbs, maybe the Fabul defense. Like, I'm happy with that heroin robe.
Heroin robe. If we've got like anything other than staff for a weapon, yeah, we can just go straight to Hobbs and see who that character is. I like the call. Berserk now also noticing a tiara, which is good times.
Yeah, also great for defense. A bit of a divergence here at the beginning. We got Firebird going to Antlion, meanwhile Funnel Cakes. Not forgetting to check that Mist Cave, the one location that can kind of be forgotten because it's so early.
Not so stabby imps.
Nope.
Cure Staff does not spark joy for going bonk.
No, but it did start with an archer bow, so there is at least something, we can have our farm go pew-pew for a bit.
Yeah, just hand that off to someone that'll make good use of it. And let's sit there and be a tank.
Pretty much. Yeah, Dwarf Axe is in there, and the Watery Pass for Funnel Cake. It's going to be great for that Sid. Sid being one of the better anchors, being able to drop his agility with the Dwarf Axe and Curse String. You can give him all the levels you want. He'll never be fast. Poison Axe to boot.
As your anchor. Dwarf Axe Sid. What do you think the RA is on that? 20.
I have no idea. That RA is black magic to me. But did find a poison axe to stick on that Sid, so I mean, it's pretty good early damage for Funnel Cakes. Doing the full loot of Antlion. We'll see if everybody just loot that left side, as it's usually out of the way. So we'll see if they decide to fully loot Antlion here.
Chat debating the virtues of various axes. We have Team Rune Axe versus Team Ogre Axe. Rune Axe, very nice for those mages. Ogre Axe, however, you get a shield.
Yeah, it's true. I'm more of the ogre axe myself. Just being able to have the shield for the extra defense or evasion tends to fare better for a more defensive strat.
Yeah, you get an extra dodge just for putting a shield on, in addition to what it gives you for evade, right?
I think.
I'm not
We
sure.
gotta
Feel like that's right.
Hey, we found one of the fiends. We've got Mylon Z. Hey, that bow and arrow is gonna do some work.
Well, Malonzi is floating because Free Enterprise, based on FF4, is a perfectly coded game, and in order to make Mylon immune to Quake, the Earth attack, they decided he should float.
Yeah, so with him being floating, he's now weak to air attacks like spears and arrows. Makes perfect sense.
You could theoretically be using bows against Mylon Z in the vanilla, but it's probably not too likely.
And as Shad's mentioned, out of this early game, you always want a fast anchor to get more turns. So anchoring with this Porum with the heroin robe, great level of knowledge there. Vanilla Sand Druid. Cubs, did you forget to randomize the key items?
Let the vanilla start early. Nice.
I mean, the question comes to be, do you check that boss spot now, or do you leave it for later? For me, it depends on the character that's there. Because if it's better than what I've got now, I'll check this box. I want the character.
Yeah. It's early. I would go check the character.
Harbor, not forgetting to check the waterfall there. Gonna disturb Mylon in his peaceful shower.
I mean, you got to imagine that Mylon Z could really use a shower. That is not the cleanest looking form for anything.
No, he is quite dirty. I mean, he is the fiend of Earth, so I mean, he can be quite dirty. So needs to wash off some of that dirt. I mean, not too much divergence here. It all depends on where our runners go from here. Do you go more of the linear path to Fabul into ordeals, or do you feel powerful enough to check the package and then maybe even dip into Baron?
Yeah, good choices. I don't think it was a fiend that handed over it was Octomom, that's right. So we know one of the three bosses already in Baron. But there's still two more we could look at, even if we can't take on Baron Basement just yet. Just knowing that one of the fiends there is useful.
Well, then we also have the Baron in itself, which is another two possible bosses. So there's a lot of bosses sitting there at Baron.
Yeah, it's on the way. It's convenient.
And we found the life potion for Silence with Thor Rages. Gonna pick up a stack of 10 just to make sure we have those, since we are on the Fiend's Hunt. Thor Rages are great to have for that King Nazo to nerf the waves. If you can get the timing correctly, which can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah, Kainazo definitely, of this list of 6. One of that and Val are the two in my mind that I would be most worried about where they're located. So having those 4 rages could be very, very useful.
Ooh, we have a Palom taking a nap. Okay, grabs the Palom. So we've got the twins and Sid. Pretty decent start to a party.
Yeah, it'll work. Especially like grabbing a black mage for these objectives. A lot of the fiends are weak to one element or the other, and being able to deal elemental damage is useful.
Very much so. I mean, Palom does have his bluff. Even if he doesn't have any gear, you can still give him enough, wisdom to make him a little bit stronger.
Yeah. Okay, says no to the Spoony Bard.
Yeah, I mean, it unfortunately, we really haven't found anything for the Spoony Bard
Sure.
to wear, so not wanting to take the time to go through the fight. Yes, you're not getting the experience on Palom, but experience can always come later.
Yeah, and one of the bosses you might keep an Edward around for is staring him down right there in the form of that evil wall.
Exactly.
FBL gonna take care of Mist. Funnelcake's finding a good shop in Fabul, Cure 3s and Soak Webs.
Yeah, definitely want to keep that in mind. I mean, I don't think there's a chance any of our runners are going to do, the 1200 strats or low level strats, but just knowing that Cure 3s are there, you can decide to use your Sid as a chemist of just throwing out potions constantly instead of curing with your Porum since she's got the heroin robe on right now.
Right. Well, that's one thing we don't need to worry about seeing on the moon.
Aw, it looks like his flight was canceled and he's currently in a layover in Fabul right now. Because you take the ship to get over to Mysidia before you can get to the moon. So right now he's a bit of a layover section right now.
Strange place to vacation, Fabul. Guess it's billing itself out as some sort of spiritual retreat, meditation, chanting, all that jazz.
That actually fits Fabul quite well. Baigan here not going to be a problem at all. Any type of AoE, like a Lit Bolt with the Sid, or even Porum maybe? Considering the level 3 J items, the Lit Bolt, was a Firebomb, and Blizzard are all HP based.
Yes.
Still getting through the... And killed him.
There was a dim and it was pale, and we wish we had Artie arrows. I mean, we always wish we had Artie arrows, but we really wish we had them here.
Yeah, now he's got to do the good old But Dancing Dagger for FBL going to be able to do extra damage to that Palom since you can't really cast any elemental spells on this boss. But Funnelcakes finds the spoon.
Deny the bard, find the spoon.
That's usually how it goes. It's like, do you go back to grab Edward now? Like I
don't even know if the spoon flag is on. Not gonna lie.
I mean, if spoon flag's on.
It's like Funnelcake says, let's do this.
I mean, that spoon is basically Edward's crystal sword, so...
It is. Doesn't have the strength boost, but it's got the punch.
Oh, definitely has the punch in the old goal 256, which, you can make up for the strength with, like, black belts and bandanas, which, can still be good.
Sure. And you can protect your glass cannon, ironically, by giving him that glass hat.
Right, so it's like, best of everything. Get all the power in the world.
Not even having time to equip the spoon. We're done here.
Yeah, Sid ended up doing a high roll with that rune axe.
Yeah. A lot of power on those axes, but they have accuracy issues. A lot of variance, but looks like Sid got all the hits on that swing.
Nope. Question chat, can characters leave in this flag set? It's not permajoin, so you can definitely swap out characters, whether or not it's buy to where they're no longer in the Tower of Wishes in Mysidia. As we have a posting here of the flags. And there is no buy, so you can definitely, drop your character, not take them once your party's full, and pick them up later in Mysidia if you so choose. But yep, Funnelcake's going. I backroad the Edward with the bow and arrow, sticks the glass hat on it, and
come at me.
Pretty much. Now, early on, lower level Ed doesn't have that many multipliers yet, but he'll be hitting for a decent amount.
What are you looking at? Remember the way it works, right? You've got a range of about base to 50%, so we should be looking at 250 to 375 per swing. So, even if we've only got one swing happening, it's not the end of the world.
No, it's still decent early damage.
As good as Dancing Dagger. Ooh, Black Belt. Shiny.
Gotta love looting. It's like you see all these chests, you want to loot them, going, oh, what? Can I get something better? But it comes down to, is it a time save to do all the looting?
Right. And
it's a balance.
Apparently up to 2 swings at least. And T Wildish will tempt you, especially with a lot of other locations that are even more valuable than this. It'll be interesting to see as our runners make it to gated spots if they loot more heavily or if they'll find what they need first.
Yeah. Zerking up that Edward and just letting him go to town here. The Berserk from Forum.
No XP at this spot. Funnel Cake's realizing there's no need to revive. Taking a moment between swings to organize the inventory a little bit.
Yeah, keeping up on your inventory to make sure you know where the certain things you are that you want later on can definitely help reduce the amount of menuing you have to do, which definitely speeds up your gameplay. Always a good thing to practice early on, but I think getting through the fights and making sure you know how to get through the fights is definitely a little bit higher on the. But we really haven't found our underground access just yet. We've got Baron, and we've got Ordeals, and a sneaky D-Mist.
Those are the possibilities, yes.
As we have Firebird going, taking on this Octomom, slowing down after every second hit. Chad wants the sneaky D-Mist.
I'll see your D-Mist at Zot 1, Possum, and I'll see it holding the Earth Crystal with a Magma Key. Vanilla.
That one, oh, that one hurts when it happens because you're just like, D-Mist is here, and then you're like, I just came from there.
The first time it happened to me, and probably the first time it happens to everyone, I'm flying around in my airship like, what did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? It went everywhere. What did I... Oh no. Oh no. Not like this.
That, or something else has happened is you get Ordeals at like the Mylon Z spot. So you go through a fight, hit D-Mist, then you do the Crystal Room, and you forget about D-Mist.
Right, because there's just so much happening. You have that fight. Even if you get through it quick, you just still have so much to do after that, and it's very easy for it to slip your mind.
Yeah, it's any time when you have a rapid succession of bosses, it tends to tend to forget about D-Mist. We've just got here a Bahamut. Many different ways you can take this out here, but I think probably the easier one is, just wait until you get the count down to like 2, pop a Star Veil, and he'll take himself out.
Yeah, looks like FBL does not wish to wait for counting and should have enough to get the job done. Close though.
Maybe doesn't believe that Bahamut will take himself out here without the extra help.
Yeah, especially with, you don't want to redo the Octomom fight plus this fight.
Yeah.
Taking a moment to be sure. A bad idea. And it looks like it's going to be a good idea, actually, because the damage has fallen off after the first round.
Yeah, but I think Bahamut did quite a bit enough damage to take himself out without the extra damage, so I mean,
Magic strong in that spot.
yes, very much so. That spot sneaks. There's a lot of spots out there that just sneak up on you. We have a Cecil,
Indeed, we do.
and just FBL doesn't have five characters, so Cecil just instantly in the party.
Yeah.
Question comes for Funnel Cakes is, who do you drop on Funnel Cakes' side?
Probably one of the white mages, but we'll see. That or Sid. No, that's 3 out of 5. Bold call there, Commander.
Yeah, like, well, we haven't found anything decent for the Cecil to wear either. Do we even take him?
I think you do with Wildish on. Be confident you'll find it. Oh, hey, there's our underground access. Yeah, I think you take the Cecil. If it were me, I would probably drop Porum, but I could see Sid as a reasonable call as well.
I probably would drop the Porum and just leave Sid as my anchor.
Yeah.
And having, Spoonward, Palom, Rosa, Sid. I'm feeling pretty confident with the party. Maybe minor improvements, but...
For me, I sweat anchoring less, so...
And...
I'm right, just attitude. And he says Sid can go.
And Firebird says, nope to the nope doodle.
Now, case summon is on. You might have to come back and face that very fast, angry Hogo Hogo.
Yeah,
we know we have to. Let's just nope on out.
Yeah, that spot can hit pretty hard with him, and you're taking those waves. Ugh.
It's not going to be pretty.
No, but FBL decided to not go directly to Ordeals, drop in the Magma Key. Does he actually, go to Ordeals before fully going underground?
I'm guessing no. I don't see FPL just coming here to drop a Magma and then going on about his life, so I think underground, check a Feymarch freebie, peek the Feymarch bosses, see if they're required, maybe even set up a Sheila wand before coming back topside. We shall see.
Yeah. Yep, going directly underground here. We're going to be doing some shopping. You'll be looking for stuff like the hourglasses, the coffins, the sirens, those wonderful, wonderful jet items that we all love.
We get a little divergence now. Funnel Cake's not even bothering to see who the Sparkle is, just immediately resets out, says, I want nothing to do with you, and is heading over to Ordeals.
Yeah, because there's really only one technical Sparkle that you could take out there, and the chances of it being that exact one, not the highest, and you don't want to spend the time trying to take out a Sparkle there right now.
True, and with Plague, you would prefer to be slow anchored anyway. Being fast anchored just means that more ticks are going to go by before you take your actions.
There's another fiend. We have Val.
That Ordeals. Another thing that we didn't touch on or talk about when considering whether or not to go to Ordeals for this Cecil is that this is a boss hunt, and there are 3 bosses here.
Definitely, I know that's what I was about to bring up before we found some other things here. Is that 3 boss hunt? You've got multiple bosses. There's 3 here on Ordeals. You can hit it with magic here, so definitely bluffing up Palom and doing like a Fire 2 or even like a Lit 2 will work. Her physical defense here is quite high. Oh, never mind, we've got Virus.
Yes, Palom does have Virus, and one more of those should get the job done. Unfortunately, Val's in this spot and not the next spot over. Much ruder.
Definitely much ruder in the next spot. because she's got high physical defense, and you can hit her with magic. So, really rude, to say the least. Ooh, found some eggs that's for sale in Tamra. Firebird picked up a few of those. Doing a quick safety save on Felcakes' side. Hopefully, the back attack fight's not going to be too bad. But, it's not a hard fight. It's more of an annoying fight.
Yes, especially in the back attack.
I mean, at least he's not somewhere else. Get him out of the way early. That's fine. Well, we have a Feymarch dive here. Gonna check the key item in the bosses here. What do we get? A tower key.
Hey.
That's a spicy key item there. Relatively free boss fight.
Now the real.
I was about to say, now we have the real fight. Ooh, so scary. I like it when I take out Dr. Luge before he even says now the real fight. Is just like, what fight are you talking about?
Yeah, and you can do that at like a Baron Inn too, especially if you're fast anchored. But here, where he just gets the back attack head start, no joy. But fortunately, Spoonwort knows what to do. So we have some more vanilla here in the Feymarch with the Leviathan.
Yeah, we got a Leviathan and an orb. See if you
fights in the doable but long category.
Yes, definitely. A lot shorter with levels and gear. Don't want to take the time on those particular fights. But we have just an apple.
A wobble. No joy.
We'll see if we get to see the bosses here as we get our Paladin Cecil.
Free and free. That's not
yeah, that's not a fight you want to see here at all.
Oh, this is where we'd like to find our Arcanazo.
Arcanazo, DKC, Wyvern, like all those nasty bosses. We want to see them here. Not a free boss like King Queen.
Wyvern. Not too long ago on this very channel, a Wyvern was found at the store deals, but did not want to stick around.
Oh, the Wyvern that decides to retreat. Yes. The fabled retreated Wyvern.
That will clear out an ordeals and gets an objective in addition to a paladin. So, good times.
Mm-hmm. And, see to think if maybe finds the Sirens, pops one, and gives Cecil a ton of experience with levels. Because right now he's level 1.
Yeah, and as you pointed out earlier, not much in the way of gear. Take one of those axes right now, and that'd be about it. It's not impressive. However, with T. Wildish on, there's places you can go to find holy swords.
Fellow Cake's going after my own heart here. Going straight to Evelyn after getting the Paladin Cecil. Definitely a place I would go if I've got the Paladin Cecil on T. Wildish, because the gear that you can find can be some of the top tier gear for this Cecil.
Yeah, there are 3 trap chests in here, and I want to say on Wildish, don't quote me on this one, but I want to say they each have a 40% chance of hitting T8. But regardless of the specific number, it's a very good chance, and with no adamants on, T8s are either crystal swords or Excaliburs.
And even if you look at like the tier 7s, so Avenger, not Avenger. You go like to tier 6s. You got your Avenger, your defense swords, your other amazing Cecil weaponry. So I mean,
And we got a chance of landing those just on the untrapped chests.
Cecil decked out with that crystal helm, gonna be covering everybody.
Yeah. Spoon Warden and Virus both strong enough to one-shot these targets and not have to worry about their counterattacks.
Yeah, the Black Cats have the Bluster, which has a chance to instant kill one of your party members, and then you have the Charm from the Lamia, which can be mean.
And the stories, the fables of the Palin betrayal are told far and wide.
Or the Yeti carving up the party with the spoon, or the amount of charmed characters that we've seen are so much fun. Is that a ninja sword?
Might have been.
Oh, they got a charm rod for that. Going around. Ninja Star looks like.
Gotcha.
Went by so fast, all I saw was ninja. I'm like, oh. But I mean,
what
not
a year that's Ninja Star, Ninja Hat, Ninja Shirt, Ninja Sword.
Right? As we find the grand old Staleman skeleton chest. This one can be a bit tricky sometimes, as there's so many targets out there.
Yeah, and they usually manage to get swings in before you can get things taken care of.
Well, Fireburn, after you don't get in the spoon, still not checking Hobbs' character, but going straight door deals, finds the Val, going to be getting their Palin Cecilon shortly.
Yeah, still struggling a little bit with it. Pesky spot.
Yeah, it definitely is, because it's got that massive physical defense. So using the Lit Bolt with Sid, does extra damage with the higher HP character.
Yeah, this is going to be Palim's show. It's going to take a little longer for FBL without Virus, but they'll get through.
The last skeleton's down on Funnel Cake's side. We'll see what we get here in this trapped chest. You hoping for a crystal sword or an Excal?
Yes. Not that.
No. Oh, when we find the other trap chest here, the 3 Mad Ogres.
This one will be a little quicker. Rune Axe Cecil can actually contribute on offense rather than just covering.
It actually has a Mute Knife on right now. I think has a crystal shield for defensive covering purposes.
Fair.
So I mean, Cover Cecil is really powerful early on. He's got all the best gear for defense, and if you just leave your party with minimal health, he'll just auto cover them. You don't have to do anything.
Yep. Works very well. Oft overlooked. Just the sheer offense. You give Cecil a big stick and often zerk him up and turn him loose, and to be fair, it's usually the best plan. But cover is also a very useful tool in his kit.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about covering if the enemy's dead, right?
That's generally how it works with a lot of things in free enterprise. You don't have to survive very long. You don't have to heal. You don't have to cover if your enemy runs out of hit points first.
We find a Bahamut summon. So
Yeah, not what we were hoping for from Eblin, but what's done is done, and we at least got some levels, so it's not the end of the world.
I got some levels. I mean, we're not we're not close enough yet. We're super close. Pop one egg. We've got the warp on the Palom for the warp glitch.
Yeah, which you take, but you don't let yourself forget that sealed cave is still looming.
Right. But I mean, with many key items still out there gaining, multiple bosses, I personally think, getting something like the Darkness Crystal or Earth Crystal definitely can be something that you'd want to check,
Yeah.
because that'll also give you some extra knowledge of, oh, well, the Luca key's not going to be behind anything here.
Yes, that's an important thing to keep in mind is that with the warp glitch, it doesn't change the logic of the randomizer. So, as you alluded to, if you find an earth crystal from the warp glitch, you know that you're not going to find your Luca key in Zot or anything that Zot leads to.
We have a heal up and a shop check, which, very common shop check when you got underground. And there's our star veils for sale.
Along with sirens. Another good shop.
Mm-hmm.
Remember from the weapon shop, we have a lightsaber over in there. Cakes might go for it.
Definitely has it. Just got the inventory boss. Definitely wants to free up the inventory. Should be able to sell enough to be able to afford that particular light sword. And there we go. We have enough.
Once you parted with Blarg, you were almost there.
I mean, Blarg's great. We don't have Iridia yet.
We really don't. Problem.
Yeah, the one problem is that if we do Dwarf here and we get that Iridia, we're gonna be like, oh.
I mean, it is what it is. At some point, you gotta make a decision and commit to a party and start working on them.
Yep. Meanwhile, Firebird gets through the Dr. Luque, gets about to fight the King Queen Eblin here, and gets the apple and the Paladin Cecil. And we're gonna get some gold breakfast here on Funnel Cake's side. I did think these eggs were gonna be done.
To scramble eggs with a lightsaber, and sure enough, Funnel Cakes sticks to a kitchen utensil for the job.
Hey, gotta scramble the eggs somehow, and you can do it with a spoon. I prefer a fork more often, but a spoon can work in a tight situation.
Better way to say I love you than with a spatula.
The question comes to me is, how many eggs does Funnel Cakes do?
Right? What's the goal here? Warp for warp glitch, just general powering up.
Yeah, I'd say at minimum get warp on the kid, and that's it. I can do the final grind later, but if he believes that this is going to be his final party, I'd even still say to get warp on the kid, get the 10 key items, and get that double experience boost.
Yeah, agreed. And it looks like Funnel Cakes agrees with you. Warp has been learned, and away we go. Directly back to Dwarf Castle.
Yeah. 2 bosses, 2 key items. It's a definite high on the list.
Yes.
Firebird deciding, got the sirens. I'm gonna go do some eggs myself.
Following behind Funnel Cakes a little bit in this particular moment, but has taken care of a quick look into the Fey March and thus has some things taken care of. Now this is elements because we've seen Dark Imps.
Yep, we have. The elements at Dwarf 1. It's just another boss on our list.
So 3 down and 3 to go.
Yeah. Where those other 3 are, we will soon find out.
Could be another one right here. We shall see.
Yeah, always getting warp before you do dwarf, because it's always a feels bad moment when you finish the second fight and you don't get warp.
It does feel bad, yes. It's dicey coming in here expecting to get the XP you need, and something knocks your paladin down, or you get a split XP boss and you end up coming up short.
And then you're like, well, now I've got to check Luca. Granted, we still have to check Luca for a boss, possibly regardless, but if you can avoid it and find the boss somewhere else,
Sure.
it doesn't have to loom in your head anymore.
Sure. Not really the plan.
Nah, and a karate man, nah.
Yeah. It would take. Take Kane, particularly if we can find a decent spear or decent sword, and replace one of the white mages. Honestly, that's about it, and I wouldn't be upset if I didn't find Kane. We've got plenty of punching power once we level between Cecil and Spoonward, and if we get Palom up to some high-level spells, so much the better.
I mean, if I'm going to be asking for a character, I would have taken the Edge.
Edge is fair too.
And we've got the Muras for him. I found a longsword in the pot out next to the Sandruby check. So I mean, we've got the equipment for an Edge.
Sure, that's a very good point. Also, obviously, take a foo, because why would we not take a foo?
Yeah,
Foo
just means foo. You don't have to worry about leveling up your white mage or black mage.
Right.
He's already 50.
You can decide for yourself which one you want to substitute for based on what you're feeling, but it's a very straightforward call.
And we have a hook.
It's 2 more bosses opened up.
This is a bit of an interesting key item here for me, at least. Ooh, and darkness. Whoa.
3rd vanilla in the form of this darkness crystal.
Now, this opens up a ton, at least for me, a ton of different routing questions. We've got the hook and we've got darkness.
Mm-hmm.
But we've also got the tower key down there, and at least that we know is down there in the Fame Arch. Funnel Cakes hasn't gotten that yet. If there's a boss on that hook route at the Ruby spot that we need, like Kenazo or Ruby or even Mylon and friends sitting there, you could be checking for the character, see the boss there, and then go down the hook route, and then you're right there to do tower. Or do you go to the moon?
It is some smooth routing, and I think that a lot of runners develop a preference at some point when faced with these decisions, whether to make an early run for the moon or to stick to Earth and clear it out. Especially with this party level where it's like probably get through a moon and use it as your grind. Might take a little work depending on what's there. But if you're the sort of runner that likes moon dives, this is really appealing. You kind of maybe feel a little uncertain about it, but like maybe you can do it. And so maybe if you're comparing yourselves to the rest of the field, you think that, maybe a lot of people won't do this at this time, and maybe I can grab something.
Funnel Cakes picks up that tower key, sees the shop's got some confidence, may pick up a few. Always a good item to have in your inventory. Firebird going into Dwarf finds the elements. We'll soon have objective 6. still a close race in all aspects between these two runners, even though there are many more runners that are off screen. I love that one Feymarge person that just always in your way if you want to check the weapon shop there. Even you go down there to go to the armor shop, and I'm just gonna walk right in this one-way area. Be in your way.
Funnel Cakes, gonna stick to Earth for now. Headed over to the tower.
Yep, I mean, we've got the top of tower. We can see the ruby spot from here. And we've also got that tower key. Well, Funnel Cakes, it makes us a long walk up to the top. We're even halfway up. Make a quick shout out here to our runners, both Firebird Lover and Funnel Cakes. Make sure to follow them as they're putting on this show for you. Cubs Rule as our restreamer, Mecha Link as our tracker, and Commander, with his desolate tone voice. Be sure to give them all follows.
Also, make sure to follow Tybalt as well. Tybalt comes by his Discord name of Tybalt the Gambler. Honestly, catch him in a race sometime, and you will see some very spicy moves.
Hey, look, I know I'm okay at the game. I've got to make gambles to at least stay at least at somewhat of an advantage. But we found Mylon and friends at the ruby spot.
Okay, so about that hook.
I am not a witch, I swear. And
so
it's Water Hag, so we know that the next blue robe we see is going to be the gauntlet. Hooray!
Don't have to sound so displeased. You know what you were cheering for earlier. To be fair, so was chat.
Oh, yes. Chat always wants the runners to suffer.
It's true. It's very true. He believes in himself and is strong. Doesn't hurt that he's got a spoon.
Yep. Firebird also. I'm going to be doing the warp here. Get the darkness. Ooh, defense sword. Well, you don't have a cane yet. You feel a little bad about buying that light sword.
True. I mean, because it didn't do you too much good, honestly, but you're rolling in as much money as Funnel Cakes was, so you just go ahead and pick up the sword. It makes sense. Go ahead, use that tower key. Get on in there and find it. Oh, never mind. Don't even have time for ouch here.
No, we get no ouch here. How will we consider? Would we consider this to be like somewhat French vanilla or Neapolitan because Young's actually destroying the super cannon?
Some variant thereof, but I'm not sure what to call it.
Like it's one of those weird things. Like, Belgian
out
chocolate.
of the room. He blows up the cannon. I mean,
That's what he does in vanilla.
Cutscene is vanilla,
right? Belgian chocolate. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, Funnel Cakes, knowing that Mylon and Friends is sitting at Ruby, I can definitely see him getting that hovercraft and going down that hook route right now.
Chase your objectives. Without a doubt. That just leaves a Kainazo and a Rubicon hanging out somewhere.
Yeah, with this particular party, I mean, the fight is basically essentially free-ish.
Yeah.
I put ish out there.
Well, we don't hate a pass.
No,
We end up on Earth at the end of things.
definitely don't hate seeing the past there, because like you said, if you're on Earth and you clear all the spots but you only find one boss, well, then you have to come back to Earth, and going back to the moon just feels bad.
Yeah, and a lot of moon spots, you're still better off turning back to the Earth for your Z fight. If you have any question at all about your Z fight, you're absolutely better just coming back and saving and using the pass. But even if you're pretty sure you're gonna one-shot Z, then unless you're down at the ribbon room save spot or below, then you're still better off exiting and taking the pass.
Yeah. But I'm getting excited to clear his inventory of all the different arrows, and so on the Leviathan, gonna be buying some Bacchus here. Gets a nice stack of 10. Might be picking up picked up 3 more.
All the
13.
boxes I can carry. Give me that sweet, sweet wine.
Yeah,
Didn't.
just want to be able.
Fight didn't. Man.
I mean, hey, just drink. What does Eddie do on his turn? Drinks wine.
Right.
Perfect. When it comes to what, I don't think there's any boss at the King Queen spot that could be really, really nasty right now for our party. Considering the levels we've got, I mean,
Larg? That's all I've got for rudeness.
yeah, Wyvern can be a little nasty, but we've got a replacement anchor here right now, so
True. Lopez
we've
could
done.
be, yeah, pesky, as Cubs Rule is pointing out.
We got Golbez, Gauntlet.
Yeah, Gauntlet, you just look at it like, really? I know I have to go through this. Why you gotta be like that? Yeah, like the punchy is less punchy. We have Cecil in the back. Really kidded. Just revive people as they fall and ask him to cover.
Yeah, and just let Edward go to town.
It's not gonna probably not gonna be that bad. We shall see. FBL cleared out so much of the underworld. I would be very tempted to quickly peek that sealed cave boss right now. Fear of never getting back if I don't.
Yeah, and you have the pass. You've got the underground almost fully cleared, except for the Pan Block and the Fey March. I would definitely want to be able to say, okay, I know the boss isn't at Luca. If I need to come back, I'm coming back for a key item at that point.
Yeah.
And we have a request for chat. Looks like chat wants Gauntlet at the Elements and Kanazo at CPU.
But have you considered, and someone probably has, Gauntlet at Ogopogo spot, holding a required package?
We already have the package, though.
Oh, we do?
Oh, I thought we did. Maybe I was wrong.
Okay, so you wanted something rude at King Queen Adeline. Did we consider DKC? We did not consider DKC.
No, we did not.
The words of Gilbert Gottfried and Dark Elf. Fools! Oh my.
Oh, that is a feels bad moment. Wasn't able to get the hide off soon enough. Even with everybody RA1, I think you still need to drop the battle speed down at least to 3 to be able to get the hide off before the first wave.
Yeah, we can Just get a
Or
little quick tick into the heel, but still gets out. Okay.
or with the little high tech run buffer there, to get the hide off. That works. Didn't have to drop the battle speed down to 3.
Yeah. Word. Showing off use here, and depending on when FBL chases that objective, that might save some time.
Yeah, and we're just gonna go right into the Mylon and Friends fight.
Yeah, you take the full heal here, and you have no fear.
I mean, you've got Quake, you've got Spoonwork, you've got there's no fear here.
Magic is not very strong here because they're not trying to murder your entire party with a fire 2 counters the way Ruby does in some other spots.
As we have a Quake gonna be coming out here. Yep, Rydia, knock yourself out. Take a nap. It always feels bad when your anchor side's I'm going to get levels. You're like, oh, no, I have to get a new anchor.
I don't think this fight alone would be enough to ruin her, but you don't want to put any experience on that you don't have to.
Well, remember, she's also going to get double the experience because she's a 5 under. Oh,
True.
And she got knocked out. Nap time.
Mylon took care of it. A pal.
Nice thing about with this particular boss here is we don't have to worry about the crumble at all.
Yeah, this is normally a crumble spot, but since this is a multi-group boss, we avoid that.
Man, Edward must be really angry.
He's beside himself, you might say.
Yeah. Oh, Firebird being a little spicier, checking the 4 Mad Ogres. Going for some size strats.
And it hits on the first go. Orm's not a bad caster, and being in the center slot helps.
Yeah, but I think still, I'm not sure if Firebird actually swapped out the equipment.
Oh no! Oh no! I've done this. It feels bad.
Well, I think that
cast the
Orm
second size to back up your first size, and they both hit.
I think think that Porm still has the heroin robot, so reducing her will stat, so it still has pretty high accuracy as it is. It's not like a Toad or Stone or anything like that, which has a lower hit rate.
You're not wrong, Pawson. You're not wrong.
Not at all. But definitely makes an easy, quick recovery. Gets through the fight. Is this where our mystical sword is?
Ribbon instead.
Not a bad item to have.
Oh, not at all. Good physical magic defense, protects against mages, and just about every status effect in the book. Good times.
Yeah, Pancakes going and setting up the Sheila 1 check before going up, possibly above ground again.
Remind me, is this where the Luca key came from?
I believe so.
Just
transmitting the other divergence.
FBL has it, and I'm thinking, what else could FBL have done? But
yeah, because I think FBL did the Shield 1 into Fubul into Ordeals.
Yeah.
But,
and MechaLink confirming. Thank you.
Yeah. Evan said with almost 2k health, doesn't even phase TKC.
Yeah, you don't need Edward for this fight when you've got a 2,000 hit point tank.
Nope.
Fighting is not the only DKC strat in this world.
Nope. Many different ways to take out the TKC. That's 4, 6. Ooh, 9 key items on Funnel Cake side.
And in a little bit, both runners will face the same decision. Because now we've got... You can pick off Feymarch bosses in the hopes of evading key item. You can check your Luca spot. You can go to the moon.
Don't forget we have that Baron basement check still with the Ogopogo.
Yes. I wasn't... Oh, I said Feymarch, didn't I? Let's try that again.
You said just the Feymarch.
Common spots. Common spots. Key items. Yes,
But,
that is also available.
But we are launching the big whale. My question is, do you go top down or bottom up?
Spicier question. Would you dare check the bosses? Like, that's a big gamble. That's the sort of thing you do that you would do to try and win a race that had 10 or 15 people in it. Like, only a madman would go here first.
Yeah, I mean, you go like, get the character from the Lunar Dais, save, go check Mura, reset, go back underground, save it like the Ribbon Room save room, and then check the 3 bosses, and then check Crystal, and then figure out which of the easier ones that you're gonna have. You've got the pass in this case, so you've got the 3 bosses down close next to each other at the Ribbon Room, White Spear, and Masamune altars. Doing White Spear and Masa first to possibly spike a 10th key item before doing the Ribbon Room would probably be something that I would end up doing.
Makes sense. And with K Moon on, it's possible that some of these checks will open things up on Earth, like an Earth Crystal or a Twin Heart or something of that nature.
I mean, we haven't seen any key items from summon locations, and we definitely haven't seen any from any moon spots. I mean, there's a chance. We'll see what our runners decided to do. Looks like Funnel Cakes is going straight to K value. Will it have any value?
It's a good start point. Is the one spot where you can see the fight you're up against without having to commit.
Yeah, always being able to see the boss before you do it, it's kind of nice. But it's something that you really don't want to do, like, you see a blue robe there. You're going to be going, yeah, no.
Good to know I don't have to worry about that. Little did they know the Earth Crystal was there.
Yeah. When Gauntlet ends up being required, that's a do I have enough hourglasses moment.
Right. Ultimately, they're on the moon. You know, that's not a blue robe, but it's still a pretty big note from me.
Yeah, especially the attack that mom's gonna hit hard. No, thank you.
It's a punchy spot, and the last thing that the K value fight needs is more hit points.
Yeah, no.
And the good news is, whenever you do get through the explode, you can probably just quake out the bombs and call it a day, but you're gonna have a fun time getting there.
Yeah. I'll have Firebird getting through the Mylon. Now comes the decision. Do I clear up the underground before going to the moon? On Firebird's side. CPU, free, but time consuming. Leviathan, getting free, but more vanilla.
Vanilla number 4, Fusoya.
Fu's an easy take for me to replace like the Palom, or even like
Why level Palom to nuke when Fu already has it? Granted, Fu only has 190 MP, but we have ways of dealing with that.
Yeah, as we just passed a Soma drop in the inventory, can bump them up to the 200 to get the extra nuke cast.
I like this from Firebird Lover. I alluded to it when Funnel Cakes made this decision. Checking the Luca spot. Get it out of the way now. Doesn't take too long, actually. Like on our clock at 103.25, FBL already in the cave and on the way down. You've already gotten the item, so you're going to trigger the cutscene the moment you cross the bridge for the first time. If it's not a boss you need or a demist, you just get right out.
Yeah, I believe it's about a 1 minute 10-second check. Walk down here and check the boss.
Sounds about right.
Well, it looks like Funnel Cakes is deciding to at least go top down and be checking the Murasame altar here. Question is, does he reset if it's not a boss he wants?
I mean, this is quick XP. And possibly a key item you need, so we just take this fight.
Oh, yeah. I think you might be a little ahead of me on that. But yeah, definitely the guards here.
Yeah, I'm watching in the Discord. Well then, about that sealed cave check, Firebird Lover lands it. Now, gotta deal with that ruby, and the magic at this spot's no joke. But now you know.
Yeah, the glares are going to be doing near quad 9. The fire 2s are going to be doing around 4k. The magic here hurts. I mean, we do have ice 3, so if we can time the ice 3 correctly, we're going to be able to do near quad 9s with the Palom. Because doing anything else will trigger the fire 2 counters. That's the problem it's being.
Scoop of vanilla as Funnel Cakes gets the Murasame from the Murasame altar.
How about that edge?
How about that? Where is that edge? On the giant, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that with this ruby in this spot, especially at these levels, yeah, what Cubs Rule is saying, double slow with your white mages. At no point am I swinging on ruby. I'm playing life roulette with everyone else when the double slow is out, and doing that will give a wider window to let the ice 3 land, and maybe some quakes if the timing is not there for ice 3.
Don't berserk the poor.
FBL is gonna go for artillery instead.
Well,
the fire spells are gonna hurt here.
Yeah, there's a quad 9.
I mean, those at least look like ice arrows. But feel the burn. Feel the burn.
Yep. I mean, depending on what Porum do, 2k damage from Porum is not bad, but it is quite a bit of health here, so I think it was hoping to get the Cecil Zerk to kind of buffer the Q a little bit. The glare going right on him did not help.
Right. Well, the problem is that with one Zerker already running, by the time you get Cecil up, you're going to trigger another Fire 2 counter, and in this spot, you're not likely to survive it.
Looks like going to be rearranging some equipment here.
And we are now in no mode in the booth.
There's Arcanazo at the Crystal Sword altar. So at one point, does Funnel Cakes go back and check that Luca? To be honest, I mean,
you at least face check the bosses. You take whatever fights you're comfortable with, and with enough gating items, you might just try and full clear them, both as a grind and because you don't want to come back. But first things first, I have to get through this Canazo.
Yeah, no, we felt that wave hit quite hard.
If this Cure Forward isn't here in time, I think Funnel Cakes can power couple through it. Just have Cecil chip away. The damage the wave deals will reduce every time Cecil lands a shot. So I think Funnel Cakes will be fine.
Yeah, Cure 4 being an instant cast can be able to get it off, so. Yeah, and after these couple more swings, even Eddie, when he's fully healed, will be able to survive that wave, so. Power couple, definitely helping out here.
And even finding a little bit of time to get Edward up. Make this a little faster. Get the Bard who could really use all the HP he can get. A little more experience.
Yeah. I feel going in for round 2. Looks like actually decided to equip the Rosa with the arrows, the bow, and the heroine robe, and is using aim, which doesn't trigger the counter.
Yes. Very heads up. Knowing Ruby's script, finding a way around that very angry counter, you can just play life roulette with the punches if Cecil's not covering and the glares, and rely on aim to get the job done. But, like, the timing on level 3 elementals isn't intuitive. First one hit the cloak, and so that's healed. The Firebird Lover gets it on the second go and says, "Have 10 grand."
Yeah, 10 grand damage here, definitely worth it. Claire comes out, takes out the Porum. Yeah, that Porum's cooked. Well done.
Ruby isn't the only one glaring right now, Tybalt. I'll have you know.
Ruby is probably one of the more mean elements out there, just because of the glares.
Yeah. At any spot with magic, any kind of magic power, it's very rough. And this spot definitely qualifies. You like it?
Yeah, and instead of Ice 3, I could definitely see an argument for Quake here, but gets through the Ruby fight.
Nice. Nicely done, Firebird Lover. Not an easy fight at all, and you've got it in the rearview mirror.
Yeah. And does have the warp to be able to exit out of here even faster.
Yes, indeed. Can't exit from here because in the vanilla there's an important cutscene at the end, but you're still allowed to warp.
Yep. As it wants Kane, the game wants Kane to betray you.
It really does. Gives him every opportunity. We've got an Odin here. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, we've got Lit 3, we've got some nukes. Lit Bolt with high HP characters. This is
right.
Easy street. Except when, the food takes, over 1,000 damage into the front row.
Right, which probably isn't an ideal result, but I think we're still fine here.
Yeah, Rosa.
But boy, Spoonward doing the lifting in this fight.
Yeah, angry Spoonward, I mean.
Up. And...
It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
Firebird going back and checking out the, oh! Shiny stick! Crunch, crunch.
It's not key item. It's just about as worthwhile.
Yeah, exactly. This is yeah, this is a I'm okay with the Z party. This is completely fine.
Sure, you could just about go now. Not quite actually. I'm not quite there with Rosa.
Nah, I mean,
Need 3 gold apples. I'm
well, I
done.
mean, you get a white shirt. I'm happy at the
Sure.
1900 HP.
Yeah, 18, 19 is where I want to be. 15 is like 3 dodges on a big bang. Ugh, I need to start nerfing.
I mean, if I don't have any of the good gear like a white shirt or a ribbon, then I want more of the 2300 HP. Yeah, Dark Elf about to have a really, really rough day here.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, Crystal Sport Cecil is going to be doing some work here.
Oh yes. So sword does enough damage, but when it finds something that's weak to it, oof.
The question comes: will a Firebird go top down or bottom up? Will Firebird check that Crystal Sword altar before doing like the White Spear altar or anything like that? May not end up even having the Crystal Sword in the end.
Well, FBL has the same 9 key item issue that Funnel Cakes has, so might be going top down on a similar theory.
Well, we'd still find a consolation prize of an X-Cal if you do the Ribbon Room. So I mean,
Yeah, and Rat Tail's going to be a quick check for Funnel Cakes when he gets back. He doesn't know that nothing that he needs is behind it, but he's still probably happy to find it.
yeah, it is. The Rat Tail getting something like the Earth Crystal or the
Right.
Twin Harp, you're gonna have to chase it, and it feels bad.
Twin Harp in particular feels bad. Earth Crystal will be exciting.
Oh,
Two boss spots.
might even rate the Treasury, but in hour 15,
Maybe.
not 100% sure on that.
Got a crystal sword for Cecil. If I was rating a treasury in Funnel Cakes' shoes here, it would be for defense. I'd be looking for that white shirt you mentioned. Maybe another ribbon, some crystal or protect rings, things of that nature.
I find just a plague here at the Masamune altar.
Plagoo,
This,
plagoo!
this is just Zerk up 2 people and let them go to town. Because if you have at least 2 RA1 Zerkers for this fight, the count will never finish. It doesn't have enough time to update. So
Feel
it'll
like you can
cost.
do it with one. I never feel like testing that theory.
So you can do it with 1. You just have to hold A with a second person.
Gotcha.
So yes, you can do it with 1, with 2 it's 2 RA1 actors. Preferably if you can zerk them both, but if you can only zerk 1, it's then just hold A.
See? Good to know.
Is you holding A equivalently does it's a little bit slower than a zerk because the menu still comes up. Whereas if there's zerk, the menu doesn't come up for the action.
There goes the
Okay,
plague.
yep, plague down.
With the exception of an angry mom bomb at K value, Funnel Cakes has cleared out the moon.
Yep, and just another defense sword. How long of a chain could we have here? Let me think. Let's see. Rat tail into, let's say, twin harp into package into a demist into pan into earth crystal into pink tail. Cool. I made the longest
Well,
chain
rude.
possible. So unfortunately, you're going to be chasing all of those. As the only ones that aren't boss gating are the Pan and Pinktail, along with the Legend Sword. Everything else gates a boss.
Yeah.
Right, checking the giant.
I understand. We know it's not the right play, but you understand.
I mean, it's a
Spent
quick
all that
boss
time
check.
on the moon, you only found one hit. Doesn't feel good, only finding a rat tail. You've got to wonder. I hope that people spent their time on Earth and it wasn't productive.
Yeah,
Especially
I mean,
when Funnel is done. Well, Funnel literally did everything he could on Earth except for that sealed cave, right?
I mean, didn't do the Baron Basement or the Feymarch bosses that are still there that could have a key item, but at least knows what bosses are there.
Yeah.
And Firebird did some gold dragons, saw that's Mom Bomb, nopes out. Question comes to be, where do you go? Top down or bottom up? Safe here in case it's something. I mean, if you got something like the Baron Guards here, it's a free fight if you've got coffins.
Mm-hmm.
But Sparkle, I mean, could be 65k of Blarg.
Could be. Oh, look, it is. I mean, at this point, it was what? Blarg or D-Lunars?
Yeah, Blarg or D-Lunars, yeah.
Oh, my. And then the early nuke, though, before the wall can come up. And, it's a witch burn. Oh, now we're blind.
Yeah, we've got some sunglasses on now.
Now, sometimes when you face a witch burn, you just have to deal with it.
Yeah, darkness is actually annoying here as it's reducing the attacks. But, I mean, Chad mentioned that Lunars would be a little worse here. I mean, it's a toss-up. You have more health with the Lunars, but if you do something that's called the Lunar Frog strat, which is reflecting their breath back onto them, your Salsal's going to be doing quad 9s every swing. Your Spoonward maybe doing upwards of 3 to 4k per swing. So, I mean...
Yeah, it'd take long. Focus on your healing. You'll need to do some timing, I think. Can't just immediately veil up and wait out the fire damage, because then you can't heal yourself except by item. So
Yeah,
you gotta be familiar with the script and know when it's time to start veiling up. And if you can do that, it's manageable.
And we have Firebird going, it looks like going to be going top down, coffining the officer, and getting off a life glitch. I haven't seen very many. Commander, what is a life glitch?
A life glitch. So, once again, alluding to this being a perfectly coded game. Life 1 revives somebody with an amount of hit points equal to a multiplier of their vitality. However, there was no need to give monsters a vitality stat. What use would they have for it? No monster ever casts Life 1 on its own party. What you can do then is use Life 1 on any fight that doesn't have the boss bit, and it will revive the monster with 0 HP, and then it will immediately die. You won't even see it show up on the screen, but you'll get credit for another kill.
And we get to see, oh, well, there's the guards.
So, it's a quick giant, and it's levels. At least there was that.
Yeah, lots of experience here if you got the 10 key items. But these guards are going to be hitting quite hard.
If you were really desperate for XP at this spot, because this is a spot with a lot of XP, you could do a Life 2 grind, couldn't you, Tybalt?
Yeah, you could, because the guards may have 0 vitality, but Life 2 doesn't care about your vitality. You come back with full health and whatever status element you had. So if you frogged them first, and then you did a Life 2, they come back as a frog.
Yeah, and you don't often see it in community race and tournament level flag sets because in the interests of saving time, there are usually more efficient ways of getting your XP, but in some harder flag sets where the XP can be tough to come by, it's a useful tool to have in the kit.
Looks like FBL is going fully down to the bottom first.
Ooh, you understand it, but he's walking right past the spot he needs to be at.
But I mean, may end up doing something like the White Spear Altar, or even doing the Ribbon Room, finding that Excal Crystal Sword. But may end up just resetting out of them. It's 3 quick boss checks. And there's that cane.
We're up to 6 vanilla now with this cane.
Cubs, you need to learn to randomize things a bit better.
We've secretly replaced the restreamer for this seed with Dathis. Let's see if our runners know the difference.
And goodbye, Kane.
Far too late to add anyone to this party, really.
No, he's definitely, I think, switching out any party members at this time, it's a little too late, just because of getting them levels will take a little bit too long. Question comes to me is, where does Funnel Cakes go? Will it be the Sealed Cave, or
Wait, not the rat tail.
No, going down and checking the Sealed Cave.
Going straight to where he needs to go to make the play. Like...
FBL having a bit of an issue with that. Odin decides, no, it's not the boss I need. I'm just going to continue on. Let's see what the next boss is.
Not having the power of Spoonwort to punch through that just wasn't... even for Funnel Cakes, with the Spoonwort going nuts, it was a very near thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to miss out on that Crystal Sword, but get through this and get an Excal. It will still serve nicely.
Yeah. An Excal is a consolation prize. I'm okay with it.
Absolutely. Pretty much Possum. What I expected Funnel to do, though, maybe was turn in the Rat Tail. But granted, that's only the possibility of handing over a gating key item versus looking at a boss he hasn't looked at. Of all the bosses Funnel Cakes can look at, I think this is the only one Funnel hasn't. I think Funnel saw the sparkle in the basement, but reset out.
Yeah, so and Zot 1 wasn't checked either.
Zot 1 too, that's also true.
But most runners don't check Zot 1 unless you have the Earth Crystal.
Here we go, Funnel Cakes about to get into the Ruby fight.
And goes to Zerk up the Edward here. Should definitely easily, with the Crystal Sword Cecil, going to be a problem with the counters here.
Yeah, there's enough hit points here. Facing this Ruby at endgame power levels is very different from facing Ruby when Firebird Lover did.
Alright, Firebird gets the Rat Tail and the Excal.
And I imagine if I were in Funnel Cake shoes, I would definitely be feeling a bit nervous, a little bit of kicking myself. But I don't have a finisher in the race room.
Yeah, I mean, with Ruby being here, it's one of those things of those gamble plays, or meta game plays of maybe people aren't going to check this particular location because it's out of the way. So I've got to do something that other people aren't going to do to try to get an edge up on them. And Sealed Cave can definitely be one of those. Just like checking Zot 1 when you don't have the Earth Crystal, or checking the Giant. It's something that can give you a leg up on any given run.
This definitely is a check that qualified as giving you a leg up.
Giving you the leg up. Pancakes doing the half walk, half warp. There's many different ways that people tend to leave Sealed Cave. But I think Funnel Cakes has the levels. After doing the Giant, I would hope to have the levels.
Right. So if you do a Giant with 10 key items, I really hope you're ready for Z.
I mean, it's only a level 54 Edward. I mean, get him to level 70. That's when he gets the high HP health.
Never, ever, ever take Z for granted, because that's okay. You can take Z for granted in an Appleseed, but then you're probably trying for a swag kamikaze kill, let's be honest. But generally speaking, don't take your Z for granted. Bad things will happen to you.
Yeah. We have the pass. We talking to this person here in the Troya.
Do the thing.
Yep.
Yeah, this Z's not gonna have a good day.
No, and I'm seeing very little of the aforementioned Z flags.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not nap time yet. I mean,
no, I don't think it is. You want to tell everyone what these Z flags mean?
The Z flag. Oh, okay. So, with Free Enterprise, we don't move around the end boss Zeromus. I wish we could. Having Zeromus at like Antline would be amazing. However, since we don't move him, we decided to change who he is. So the question we always ask at the end of every scene, if it's a Gwyn Crystal, is, whose booty are we gonna beat tonight? Which spread are you hoping for?
Pink Puffmas. Stay on brand.
I was gonna say Vanilla Miss. Like we've had enough vanilla in the seed.
All the
like
vanilla in this seed, that's fair.
But there's also other questions that we like to ask too. It's like, how is Butt? Does Butt have a hat? Is Butt cute? Crystal's been thrown.
Corvid going for clippiness. That's a good choice.
Oh yeah, that's always a fun one to take out. Willy Miss. One of the Mega Mans, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, don't know which one, but that is definitely Dr. Wily.
Never really played any of the Mega Mans. And we have a direct cast nuke to nerf the first Big Bang, and Edward always being the target of the counter nuke. That is one of those feels bad moments.
Almost survived.
Yeah, it seems like Edward just always has a magnet of hit me with the counter nukes.
Nice timing there, though, by Funnel Cakes. Queues up the Cure 3 and tosses a life potion in the middle to make sure that Edward can get back to work before that nerfed Big Bang even rolls out.
Yeah, I think Rosa was the original one to cast the Cure, but whiffed it, so got back over to Rydia's turn, was able to use the life potion and have Fu cast a Cure 3. So definitely a bit of the high level gameplay there of being able to recover, of having a second Zerker. If I were getting that Crystal Sword from the White Spear, next boss on the list is going to be that Crystal Sword Altar. So we'll be in a go mode here shortly.
I see you there, Berserk now. I'd just like to point out that he is the Eggman. He is the Eggman. He is the Wily Miss. Coo.
It looks like Volocakes is doing the what we like to call action economy. Just letting the Zerkers go to town, not doing anything extra. Sometimes it's better to do nothing than something. And might actually be trying to go for a nerf here.
Yep, could be sitting on a nerf, hoping to keep Edward standing. Yep, here comes a nuke. Just a wide cure for.
Yeah. And Edward takes the counter nuke again.
Of course. Oh, and once again, by 100 and some change, it's enough. Poor funnel cakes. Poor Edward.
And snap a crackle, a boom. When the mist goes down, funnel cakes takes it. We'll see if we can get him in here for an interview.
Not just first place on the restream, but first to finish at all. With an official time of 1:34:31. Get your GGs out in chat.
GG's to funnel cakes. Well, I've been having just a little bit of a rough time here with the Kinazo, and I believe we are joined in here by Funnel Cakes. GG's.
Thank you.
So you saw the Edward there on Hobbs and decided not to take him. Then you do Fabul and you get the spoon.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess I've got to go back and pick him up.
I guess you're good enough now.
Yeah, I clicked back to the seed page. I'm like, is Spoon on this week? I'm like, yeah, it is. All right.
Keep the flags up. It's handy.
So let's see. I'm trying to figure out
straightforward beginning. Ran around. Got the usual items. Simple little magma on the tower. See a sprite up there. Anything early on that was on your mind as you were getting through that?
Not really. I mean, with having Spoon in hand and with Heroin Porum to just stand in the middle and be fast, there wasn't really anything I was super scared of. And I think I started with a glass set as well, so Edward felt fairly safe. And once Porum got Berserk, I was just able to kind of slice through everything. I almost got in trouble when I got my Cecil. I was thinking of throwing Palom out instead of Sid, and that would have been real bad when I went to Ordeal and found that Val.
Yeah, that Val being there, having the virus with the Quack Kid, just you were able to get through that fight really quickly. Having the virus really helped out there. So you finish there up on the moon. You've got the rat tail. You know every other boss spot besides Zot 1 and Luca. Were you just looking for bosses at that point when you went to Sealed Cave? Was there a thought in your mind to go turn the rat tail at all?
Not really, because I knew rat tail didn't directly lead to a boss. I mean, it could have given me Earth Harp or Package, and all those are kind of slow. And I was figuring I can hit Luca. That's it's a minute walk down there. Then I can do Fey March and clear out those two bosses. It was CPU and then Ogo or D-Lunars, and at this point I was now very much prepared to deal with both of those. And then just kind of finish out the key item checks from there.
Yeah, it was a Leviathan. It was a vanilla Leviathan, a bunch of vanilla stuff in this particular seed.
That's right. It was Leviathan. I just saw it come up on my screen.
Commander, do you had any other questions for Funnel Cakes here?
Why all the counter nukes on Edward? Well, did Edward deserve all of that after all the hard work he'd done getting you through that Odin? Like, not blaming you. I'm just saying.
You know, it was a little awkward. I wasn't too pleased with it, but we were able to get him in time. Having Crystal Sword Cecil as the other DPS made it feel less bad.
In a world in which Crystal Sword Cecil is your backup DPS.
Hey, let the bard shine, right?
He earned his spot at the primary DPS.
But definitely go back and give it a watch. Did a lot of stuff here that was well done, well executed. Definitely keep it in the toolbox. It shows that you're developing a good toolbox so far, and this race was no exception.
Thank you. No, I felt good about a lot of the things. Kenatsu was a little spooky, but you know, I had enough HP and it was all right.
I was going to say the taking out of the DKC the second time, doing the run buffer to get the hide off instead of dropping down the battle speed. That's some high level knowledge in there that's part of your toolkit that good to have.
Yeah, I think I dropped to 3 just because my BS1 run buffering isn't quite there yet. That's a very fast inputs I've got to do.
Still legit. I'm never sure if I'm run buffering correctly.
Do you have any other thoughts on this seed at all? I mean, seemed a pretty straightforward seed at that.
Yeah, I'm just tired of bosses being in Luca Cave. Can they be not there? I feel like of every seed of this I've done, they've tucked a boss somewhere cheeky.
Yeah, we all wish. I mean, with 34 boss spots out there, and you're looking for 6 of them, there's a chance that one of them is going to be one of those hidden spots.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, hope it's not like a package behind Mom Bomb.
The package was at Demist, according to the spoiler log.
It's awkward.
A little bit. Good thing Ruby wasn't there. Eh?
Yeah, that would have been real bad.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, GG's once again, Funnel Cakes. I mean, you've been doing fairly good in the Pink Puff League this season. You feel pretty good for the future flag sets of the Pink Puff League?
Yeah. I think that as we get to more traditional flag sets, I'm gonna feel much more in my wheelhouse compared to the first few weeks.
I don't have anything else, Commander. Once again, Funkakes, GG's. Heck of a race. Definitely like to see in future Pink Puff League races or even in future tournaments.
Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone helping put on the stream, doing comms, rebroadcasting, tracking. The viewers, of course, my lovely viewers, all coming out and cheering us puffs on. It's always nice to see people out here for us.
We love our puffs.
Oh, that was Funnel Kings. GG's once again to him. And meanwhile, Firebird has gotten through the Knazo fight, got their crystal, and is currently taking on Willy Miss. Also got through the Odin fight, so it does have the crystal sword with the Cecil. Are we doing maybe some hybrid strats here? Gonna be
with only one Zerger, it makes sense.
Yeah, probably gonna be launching out some nukes with Foo. Did drop it down to a BS3 for the fight, and is gonna be trying to get some blows reflected off of that Foo. And some nukes, of course.
Yeah. Want to bounce those spells because we saw nukes being direct cast to deliberately trigger counter nukes. But you only really want to do that when it serves your purposes to take less damage from the Big Bang that's about to come in. And all other times, you want to be bouncing your spells off walls so that you aren't triggering those counter nukes.
Yeah, because any reflected spell does not trigger the counter script. Which, makes sense. We've got some whites coming out from Rosa here for him. Just not having a high enough level for the white. I'm just going to be sitting there popping out some healing. But I don't think this will be long for this world with, Cecil doing 6k and Foo doing anywhere from 4 to 6. May see a second Big Bang.
Yeah, maybe. It'll be near the end, and Cecil will absolutely survive it. Rosa, it would have to be a freakish high roll to drop her.
Yeah, it would have to be, as we call it, the Wombo combo of going from Big Bang into Meteo, but even then, I think the Sid and Cecil will survive. Because they've got the massive health pools.
As we are working through this Z fight for FBL, Dipwood has finished off stream in second with a time of 1:45:30. GG's.
GG's to Dipwood.
There's the shake. Is there going to be time to cut through, or...
We'll see. We'll get a few more swings out here.
Swing
nope.
from Cecil.
There's the snap, crackle, boom, and Firebird Lover is done with an official time of 1:46:11 seconds. Snipes Karant, who came in 4th place at 1:46:25. GG's to Karant. We've got some sniping going on in here. We'll see if we can get Firebird in here for an interview.
GG's to getting through. Boss hunts, even experienced runners look at a seed with a bunch of boss hunts and just often there's the feeling of dread. Knowing, as we've alluded to, that something tricky like a sealed cave on a warp glitch could be where you need to go. So GG's to our puffs for making your way through a flag set that's a significant step up in the season.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing was the that Ruby at Sealed Cave, and we are joined here by Firebird Lover. GG's.
Thank you.
Oh, it was one heck of a race. I mean, both you and Funkix early on were just neck and neck crossing over each other's checks. We saw you go up for deals, and you saw the Val at the first spot there. How'd you feel about that Val?
At that point, I wasn't actually very concerned because I knew Val could be hurt by magic there. But I had put off ordeals for a while, so at that point I wasn't that concerned by a Val. And basically I just threw items at her.
Yeah.
We saw you end up going down Luca Cave before going up to the moon. Was that just I want to check this boss, I want to make sure I have all the bosses checked on the Earth before I go to the moon? Or
pretty much, it was a gut instinct. Something said, it's not that long to go walk down there, I might as well check it out. You'll notice I saved, but I didn't tent up at the middle save point. I was like, it's probably not going to be anything. And then I just reset real fast once I realized it was Ruby, and I needed to be a little more serious about that.
Yeah, and it was a good call switching to Rosa for the bow and arrow work. Going with the aim and not triggering the fire counters.
Thanks. Yeah, I was, I thought maybe I could just force my way through with ice arrows and a light sword at first, and as soon as I saw those hits, I was like, nah, it's too big. I gotta be a little sneaky here.
Yeah, we saw you doing the Ice 3, and Ice 3 could be a little tricky to time. It's maybe something for future. It's like it's a toss up between getting the Ice 3s or doing guaranteed damage with a Quake with the Quack Kid. If you don't feel that comfortable trying to do the Ice 3s, maybe a suggestion would be do the Quakes to get the guaranteed damage.
I mean, I knew there were other options. I could have just switched to Ice 2, for example, probably get about as much damage. I just thought the timing would be right, and when I realized it wasn't, I adjusted and figured out what the timing was.
There you go. That's some high level play there of being able to, on the fly, figure out a different timing for what you need. I mean, you put on one heck of a show here. You got anything, Commander? I'm trying to think here.
Excel had to feel good. If you watch the restream, you'll learn that Odin had a crystal sword, but pesky Odin is pesky.
I beat Odin the second time through.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay.
Bad. Good job. Pesky Odin is pesky.
Oh yeah. That's the reason I didn't reset out of Plague, is because I thought that those two levels I got might actually be the difference between whether I could beat Odin on the second go.
Turned out to be.
There you go on that. I think you checked Hobbs early on and saw the Edward there. Was there any plan to go back and grab him once you got the spoon? Or you're just like, nope, don't care about the bard?
Actually, I didn't check Hobbs until my absolute last check on Earth.
Yeah. By
so
then,
I didn't
it's
even
just too late.
From the very start. So I'm very fond of an early Baron in if I can get away with it. And once I got the 4 characters, I thought I guess 3 characters. Once I got the extra character from San Ruby, I thought I could get away with it. But the whole time in my mind, I had a Murasami and a longsword, and I pretty quickly got a boomerang. And the whole time in my mind, I'm just thinking, where's Edge? I need to chase Edge. So I'm only thinking, how do I get to gated spots? That's why I did Baron's, not just Baron in, but Baron so early. It's because I was like, I need to hit a gated spot.
Makes sense.
I have no clue where Edge was in the scene.
Neither do we. We can only assume that it's a package or Zot.
Yeah, that's all we got there.
Oh, so someone checked Earth. Wasn't me.
Giant had Kane.
Oh, Zot, you said. Right. Package.
Yeah, I said Zot.
But Giant had... Oh, someone checked Giant. Oh, okay.
Yes. Little Cakes, after clearing out the moon, said, you know what? It could be at the Giant. It was a Blarg into a guards. Wasn't that bad.
I fully understood, at a certain point I fully understood that I had faded every single summon spot, and I knew they could all have items, and I was just like, this really better be somewhere on the moon, this last fiend, or I'm in a lot of trouble.
And it paid out. Kane also at the Crystal Sword altar is not a fun boss as you saw. It has quite a bit of health there for that wave.
Yeah, I mean, I also didn't actually cabin or tent up before that fight. I lost a few people who shouldn't have fallen, but I wasn't actually that worried once I was wandering around with the Crystal Sword Cecil. I kind of got cocky.
It has that effect on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything else for Fireburn. Again, GG's heck of a race. Do you have any other thoughts on this particular seed?
I don't know. I don't think there were any traps that I saw except for that whole warp glitch thing. If you don't go and check that, I can really see someone going to the moon, grabbing what I presume are a whole bunch of key items up there. Though I just saw in the credits that at least Twin Harp was on one of the two Feymarch bosses. But yeah, I think that was the one possible trap, and man, Asuka's just mean about that sometimes. like like she knows. She's said it. She puts the warp glitch in even though it's a boss hunt just so that you'll skip that and regret it.
It's a useful lesson to learn.
Yeah, and you can get burned by it. Huh?
You can.
Funny joke?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
But along that line, I actually think that anyone who didn't take their time to level up Palom to get the warp might have been in a better position, because then they're not going to miss the darkness crystal.
Because the Darkness Crystal being there means if you don't do warp, you've got to go down there regardless.
Yep. But yeah, that's about all I got.
Hey, you got anything else, Commander?
I'm good. GG's once again.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Yeah,
You
you
as
too.
well. Was our third place finisher, Firebird Lover. During the interview, we did have some other puffs finishing. Charlie coming in 5th with a 150.23, J-Mac the Librarian in 6th with a 150.27, yet another sniping. David B finishing in 7th with a 152.02. GG's to you and to the rest of the puffs making your way through this seed.
Oh, as it winds down for us, it's not the end of free enterprise just yet. We're going to be sending on over to somebody else, but before that, give one last shout out to our restream here of Cubs Roll doing the restream, Michael Link doing the tracking, my co-commentator Commander Leonhardt. We do have some free enterprise tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. It is our normal Friday night community race. And then again on Saturday, we have our Baron Heroes Journey Club at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Commander, where are we going to be sending everybody off tonight?
We are going to the Pink Puff Queen herself, Asuka, who will be showcasing next week's PPL flags.
Ooh, I wonder what's in store after a boss hunt.
Let's find out.
Is it a dark matter hunt? Is it really rude flags? I mean, what could it be?
Is it a mystery seed? Well, it's at least a mystery to us. But we can go find out.
Thank you everybody for watching as these Pink Puffs put the show on for you. Again, be sure to follow them.